Okay, good morning again. In the first week of May 2023, we have just celebrated the World Labor Day yesterday, and all have been very much benefited by the celebration, and it has been celebrated at various levels in the world, various forums. Today, we are talking of a subject that is business continuity management system, subjects and concepts. We have conducted webinars on BCMS policy, BCMS objectives, BCMS plans and so on in past. Today we are discussing the subject as a whole because this is a new standard just released 3 years back. Very few organizations adopted it so far, and this subject is very the ISMS. In fact, I would like to share one thing that today most of the organizations which are coming for certification, we find that they are using some or the other kind of software for the documentation, for the implementation, for internal auditing, for management review, and side by side, most of them are also going for IMS certification today. We had an inquiry last week, a company who is going for 27,001, 27,701, 22,301, and 37,001 along with ISMS. So we find it very important to understand the integration of these standards and the concepts. So anyway, today specifically we are discussing the plan here. So what is the plan? Most important is the plan. Who is making the plan? Plan is made by the management with respect to the purpose of the organization. Many organizations we are not certified yet, but whatever we have done so far and whatever training we have given to the candidates for this particular standard, the the purpose has to be understood. What sector the organization is working, whether it is a manufacturing sector, it is a service sector, it is a supply chain company. So with respect to whatever their operations are there, they need to develop a plan for implementation of BCMS. That is very important. And this plan should provide a framework for setting policies and business continuity objectives. We always say if we are able to develop a good policy, a practical policy, a smart policy, and that is supported by effective and realistic and smart business continuity objectives, the job is partially done. Because if you can make a good effective plan, it is helpful and it supports the implementation. Also, many organizations have got a lot of applicable statutory, regulatory, customer oriented, and maybe the employee oriented, and maybe interested party oriented applicable requirement. So this plan should satisfy these applicable requirements. Then only the success rate is high. Also, it needs to include a commitment to continual improvement of BCMS, whatever level we are today. There are few organizations who are coming closer to recertification globally. So they need to demonstrate a continual improvement. We have been able to do first and second surveillance in few companies. So they need to demonstrate a continual improvement of the BCMS. We have seen in some of the companies where one of them we have to raise a major concern where they could not show any continual improvement with respect to BCMS. We found them they were there where we have left them 2.5 years back. See, that is one subject which is very significant today when we go for auditing with respect to the condition of the market today. Most of the economies globally are not able to sustain. Most of them are cutting corners here and there. Some organizations are removing employees, some organizations are getting closed. If our BCMS is not going along with the purpose of the organization, we see many organizations being slowed down or being closed or being reducing the operation, units are being closed and so on. So this commitment to continual improvement is very, very important. And this plan should align with the vision, with the mission, and it should be suitable with respect to the thoughts of the top management and the board of the organization. Otherwise, this plan will not be able to be implemented, because BCMS is a specific standard, it is a business continuity management system. It is called security and resilience business continuity management system. Why? Because the purpose is to see that organization can sustain, organization can make itself secure, and they can demonstrate continual improvement, and it should be suitable to the top management and board. Alright, then it is supported by the policy definitely. So policy, as we discussed, comes from the top management. So now we are talking of this plan. Plan should be supported by continuity of policy and objectives and suiting to the business continuity policy objectives plans. We do not talk of only policy objectives, we talk of business continuity policy and objectives supporting the plan. Okay. It should be available as a documented information. The plan should be available as a documented information. The plan should be communicated within the organization. The plan should be available to interested parties as appropriate. Then only they can give feedback and input. And then only the business continues with respect to our plans of what are the desired results. Organizational team is trained onto the BCMS plan, policy and objectives. It gives assurance that BCMS system 22301 is able to achieve the SDG, what is Sustainable Development Goals, that is the global requirement and customer requirement. And this plan should be auditable. We had been to some organization, they have shown us a beautiful plan, but it was very difficult to ask questions against it because the language was so disturbing, we could not understand it properly. Even the client team could not understand it properly, so I do not know how they will go for certification. The meaningfulness was not there. They were manufacturing some products, they were offering some services, but they were hardly covered by the business plan. And logical. Logics are very important. The whole life depends upon logics today. But this logic is not understood to many of the persons. When we started doing inspection in DNV long back, we were talking of inspection, business, interrelation should be logical. So now with this standard coming now 3 years back, 4 years back, it is talking of logical plans. Okay. It should meet the interested parties requirement. It should meet the vision, mission we have discussed, the direction of the top management, sometimes the middle management or the consultant coming to the companies. Recently, we had a situation that in India there was a consultant association at a meeting. They have shown it a lot of platforms. Meeting has been held, meeting has been held. I asked some of the coordinators who have just joined the meeting for the sake of nothing. I asked them, what was the output? None of them could answer. I am sorry to say. Then I said, are consultants changing their mission? Are consultants changing their vision? Are consultants changing their direction with respect to the requirements of the top management of the company where they are going for providing the consultancy services for BCMS standards? No, I don't think they are changing. Many of them have agreed and they said, yes sir, currently we agree with your thoughts because nothing has been changed so far, and this meeting has also not shared by and shared any outcome of the meeting was held maybe. So I said meeting was held for fun, very good, so keep on having the funds, but don't make mockery of the management system, particularly a standard like BCMS where the consultants are going and they are copy pasting some service industries manual, some service industry procedure to manufacturing company and supply chain company documents to a service industry, and when we go for audit we feel very sorry, we do not know this comment should we go against whom, but whatever it is, we need to see the security, resilience, ability developed to protect the integrity of every aspect of your business. So these consultants and these so-called management representatives should see that they are able to protect the integrity of every aspect of client business so that they can withstand unpredictable threats. Predictable threats are known to most of the consultants and most of the companies, but this is the unpredictable threats that is key to the success of the business today, because everything is changing today. Everything is changing today. Today, Russia is attacking Ukraine. Tomorrow, Ukraine will attack Russia. Today, Iran is giving threat to Israel. Tomorrow, Israel will give threat to Bulgaria. Bulgaria will give threat to Taiwan. Taiwan will give threat to China. China will give threat to USA. So much of changes are coming. So the business plans of companies are changing. Today, company has been manufacturing some missile production system. Tomorrow, they will go into offensive system. So they will develop missiles. So their business plan will change. So we need to strongly emerging against the changing business situations. All right. Then, as usual, we need to plan all this, drafting the documentation, not copying, pasting, and approval of BCMS plans, policies, and objectives. Policies and objectives will always come in forefront because they will be supporting the plans of the BCMS. Provide training throughout the organization, including supplier, contractors, statutory regulatory boards, interrelations, final customers, and so on. Displays are very important. The plans, policy, and objectives, unless they are displayed, they do not get into the minds and hearts of the people. So unless they go to the heart of the employees and interested parties, it will not happen. They may not be certified. Even if certified, the continued suitability will not be there. Availability on website is an excellent idea. We always suggest that. Various kind of softwares are available. This company who has inquired today has taken a lot of quotations from consultants, and consultants are offering a lot of software based consultancy programs to them. But we always say make it user friendly. Every organization have got a different way of working, different culture, different themes, and different thinking. So utilize the software after only the modification to suit your requirement of BCMS, and then communication effectively as and when you are getting the changes in the organization and interested parties, including customer, regulatory boards, and so on. Then what happens? We have to implement the BCMS plan, policy objectives, and business plans throughout the business situation, starting from selection and subcontractors and customer. You need to select the customers. You cannot start supplying to all customers. We have seen many organizations failing because they fall prey to bad customers. Yesterday, I had an inquiry from one of the companies who was supposed to purchase a huge amount of furniture from a dealer in the Delhi. He was being fooled by this dealer's fellow. There are many persons who are sitting in the market, they do digital marketing, and many companies fall prey to their good business plans, which are literally big foolers of the customer. So customer also needs to be selected properly. Many companies वो कहते हैं डूब गए, बिजनेस खत्म हो गया, because they have been supplying to some very bad customers and debts have gone, bad debts have gone. That is why this BCMS plan consists of short-term business plan, long-term business plan. No organization is saying, sir, 6 month business plan, 1 year business plan, 2 year business plan. IATF says short-term means 1 to 2, long-term means 2 years onwards. But BCMS depends upon what are the products and services and how intelligent is your team. Then you have got number of processes into the company, starting from order collection from the customer to the closing of the loop, PDCA, clause 1 to 10, and then getting the feedback, and then customer complaint handling, and so on. Then 8.2, 8.3, 9.1, 9.2 implementation, and having effective change by bringing into business plans. Then doing the effective analysis of the business plan. What business plan has been developed 6 months back or 1 year back may not be suitable today to run your business effectively. And you need to see that your profits are increasing, profitability is increasing. You have to supply 1,000 number of products to a customer. Don't plan for 1,100. You can just plan for 1,010 pieces maybe, and that is the profitability. Develop the BCMS chart of implementation. I always suggest, and my kind of auditors and traders always say, development of a BCMS plan charts is very, very important so that you can track your progress. If you do not track your progress effectively, you may not be certified. Even if certified, your certificate may not be continued in future. Then implementation is the key to success. Run the drafted documentation and processes into various functions as per the plan of the management. Management, everybody is a management in this situation. Everybody is a manager, everybody is a top management. Then enhance the effectiveness of BCMS implementation. Last year the profitability was 5%. Would you be happy with that? Don't want to move further. Don't want to make it 6%, 7% for next 3 years. Do that, please. Then update the policy plans and objectives in the planning chart and keep on tracking. As I said, the chart of implementation is the key to success. And updating that with respect to the changing needs, changing customers, changing suppliers, changing products and services, additions of products and services. And then be a good mathematician always if you have to remain in business. Conduct precise calculation after implementation and keep on reviewing the data, facts and figures with involvement of all. As I said, don't just go by feelings. Go to facts and figures of the business plan of the management and then review all these things. And then coming to the analysis and future actions. The analysis and future actions is the key to success. We have developed a BCMS plan 6 months back. We have few companies who inquire, they implement, but they are never able to get them certified because of their fear. Sometimes they have got a weak management team sitting. Many organizations, including consultants and certification bodies, they are not able to grow because of poor middle management and poor top management behavior at times. We want them all to understand all this through our last slide. Review the facts and figures. Don't just go by your feeling. This is good, that is good, that is not good, that is not bad. That consultant was very good, that customer was very bad. No, all that is a foolish way of taking an action. Go effectively to the real situation of analysis and future actions. Study the small group and cross-functional team to understand the business plans and future. Monitor the implemented data by SPCS, QC and other management and statistical techniques. Unless you do the analysis of the data in 6 months or 1 year, you have enough data, you have got 101 files, but unless you do an effective analysis of that, you will not be able to reap the benefits of investment which you have done in the implementation, in the training and documentation of the BCMS with the help of a consultant or by your own efforts. Then conduct an effective internal audit of BCMS implementation by a trained and qualified internal auditors team, not just by somebody or not by a consultant. Many companies we find that consultant himself has done the audit, maybe he has changed the name, but by the writing, by the language, by the way of expressions of the MC, we can understand that this internal audit is just a jhadu marna, as the many companies are doing, brushing around the bush. We don't want that, hitting around the bush. We don't want that. We want effective internal audit to be done, and then this effective internal audit results are taken to review the BCMS plan in management review meeting by involving the top management team and the steering committee and find out what were the weaknesses, why 10 non-conformity, 20 observation, 10 AFIs have come out and many of them are not yet closed, many are pending. Why? We review all this in business review meeting along with team of managers and top management, maybe the board of directors. We have seen the positive companies review the BCMS plan into the board meetings. Okay, that is a very positive sign today. We have certified organization like Bombay Stock Exchange. I have been to SEBI when I certified them 10 years back. So their business plan needs to be now taken effectively. Into some of the association meeting, people are talking of a lot, but we have seen these stock exchanges into India and globally, and the civic and kind of organization, they do talk a lot of things, but when it becomes to the BCMS plan implementation, the effectiveness is not seen. So make this review effective through an effective management review meeting by effective review of business continuity management system plans, and then come out with a good and effective minutes of meeting, which is a smart minutes of meeting, which defines time plan, it defines targets, it defines responsibilities, it set up a system so that it is again reviewed. We have seen many companies just making some plan, something, but that review system is very, very weak. So the time is spent by the even the board for 6 hours fails. 8 directors are there when they are discussing the board meeting and BCMS plan. But if the MR and the GMs and the down the line team does not track, what is the fun of wasting 6 hours? You could not have even done it better than implementing and monitoring it for future actions and future plans. If you do all this, improvement, PDCA, diving cycle, all that is completed automatically, and clause 10 tells us the BCMS effective implementation. Once we do that, naturally we can apply to TNV system certification private limited with IAS accreditation for your certification, this thing. And also your team can attend to internal auditor programs and external auditor, lead auditor programs through TNV certification private limited. So this is what I thought I will discuss, and that completes my plan of today. If you have any questions, you are most welcome on BCMS subject. Thank you very much. Anyone has questions? Any questions? Anil Yadav, Apurv, Shri Mundeji. If no questions are there, then maybe we can close this session, Apurv. So thank you very much. You can ask questions via emails and via going through our webinar, which will be updated on TNV Academy channel. Thank you very much and best of luck to you all.